the attempt by Nnamdi Kanu and members of his legal team to rigmarole around the Supreme Court's judgment, which upheld continued prosecution against him for treasonable charges, is laughable. Not that I outrightly criticize his lawyers for wanting their court for the levies in dollars, pounds sterling, and naira collected from brainwashed vulnerable contributors across the globe, but I expected a more circumspect Kanu. I feel gobsmacked on his behalf over the fact that he's been outwitted by his team of respected counsels. They know that his battle is a lost one, yet they urge him on, fine-tuning request after request before the very Nigerian courts that he once victimized. Although standing proxy for the highest court of the land is not my intent, I state firmly that it did justice by throwing out efforts to discharge and acquit Kanu for no case submission. That is because he sure does have a case to answer. For instance, what is his current stance on the maiming of security forces and the wanton destruction of government facilities and critical infrastructure that occurred under his orders? Where does he stand today on earlier repeated calls for the killings of notable citizens perceived as opposed to the clamor for a divided Nigeria? Who is this daydreaming Kanu? It is surprising that he wants everybody to believe his deceit. Okay? Some twos, the renowned strategists did say that what the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins but excels in winning with ease. This opinion is far from true for Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB's frontrunner agitator for secession. Nigerians recall vividly no Kanu in seeking to amalgamate the state and people of the Southeast into one separate country. He would eventually rule over ferociously charged from his safe abode in the United Kingdom about how he could dismantle Nigeria, overrun its forces and soldier his way into the Eldorado that only he and his sympathizers saw, while he arrogated more authority to himself than he could muster. It was rather unfortunate that some gullible sympathizers fell prey to his vain theatrics. Not only did he come out or become a larger than life threat to security, but he also incited the reasonable size of these unsuspecting youngsters who identified with his rhetoric into believing that the only route to a free Biafra was a violently earned one. During the EndSARS, Kanu claimed ownership of the destruction in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and parts of the South East, where many policemen and soldiers were gruesomely and willfully killed. It was legendary. Kanu cheered while many families cried. Yeah, this person who is speaking here, you can understand where he's coming from. You can understand where he belongs to. These are the same people I was talking about that they don't see the government they are protecting or defending. They cannot tell the government, you have all this evidence. I don't even want to go further. You have all this evidence against the man, and yet you can't even simple judgment. You can't even pronounce simple judgment on him. Of course, with this kind of nonsense that this person is spewing, you see that they don't have any case. See, Boko Haram, they are working freely. Bandits are working freely. Now people are asking, what has Nnamdi Kanu done that this man Gumi has not done? Gumi knows all the leaders of the bandits, the government, the Nigerian army. They are aware. They are still in this country, but they took their time to go to Kenya to go and kidnap this man. And meanwhile, the ones that have been making lives uncomfortable for the whole Nigeria, they are in this country, not that they are outside the country. They don't have to spend so much, yet they can't even get one of them. You can imagine. As Nnamdi Kanu considered a deceitful route to freedom, it must be known that the chickens will come home to roost. There is no hiding place for Nnamdi Kanu, whether he pretends that his rendition from Kenya was illegal or feigns ignorance over actions that led to the needless devastation. Of course, you guys know that you went to go and bring him without any cause. I think Buhari will have a peaceful life, and all of them that had hand in his in bringing him back, where he might as well groom the best of lawyers to argue for him. But the sacred fact remains that Kanu cannot evade justice as he runs escasketa looking for an escape route from the Angsman news. He must concede that he has been running aimlessly and has to face the music that he has been playing all the while. He is the leader of a terrorist organization, Wahoo, which currently stands proscribed. He poses grave danger to the sovereignty and unity of Nigeria. Any attempts at securing him legal acquittal may just remain a futile one. For a while now, Kanu has been desirous of being transferred to Kuje prison so he can seamlessly hold court and feel in charge. He needs not worry about that. Same way he prefers Kuje prison, he would also fancy moving to Gashua prison in Yobe or federal prison in Bama, Borno State. The innocent victims of his wicked and malicious actions must get justice. The lesson therein, however, is that his plight should serve as a deterrent to those who create storm and hope to hide when it rains. No other route lies ahead for Kanu except the one to be decided by the court, guided by the laws of our land. This person must be an insane person. Your so-called courts that have released in on different occasions, they've released him that they want to obey the court order. They have to be begging Buhari, begging Tinubu to release him. Shame on all of you. You know, I told you, it's always good because you might say you don't want to hear this, but just to know the mindset of these people. See the hunger that is going on. See the people that have been, their lives have been taken. See the ones that have been in the custody. You know that the real terrorists, they went to the Nigeria army barracks. Till today, they killed a lot of people. But till today, none of the people who perpetrated that atrocities was arrested. As I speak to you today, and this one is telling us nonsense, rubbish. It's just writing nonsense. That's it. I don't even have time for nonsense posts. Criminals are really trying for the cessation of this evil contraction called Nigeria. But you know what? Nnamdi Kanu is the end of Nigeria and also a great nightmare to this forceful union called Nigeria. Release Kanu because he is not the problem of this country. Self-determination which he engaged on is legally approved by international law, which Nigeria is part. So why haven't Western world proscribed IPOB since 2014 despite the Nigeria struggle? The same question I was always asking, because Nnamdi Kanu was always going from one country to another. Nobody has ever arrested him. No Interpol. He has never been stopped from any borders of any country. And these people are talking anyhow. Like I told you, you know, by their saying, you know where they belong to. So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this.